Hey everybody, it's your pal Smiley. John Byrne probably has a cucking fetish, and here's why. So yeah, today we're talking about John Byrne. For those who are unaware, he's a fairly well-known comic creator, known mainly for his work as an artist on the X-Men and revamping Superman post-Crisis, which is what brings us here today. Going into this, I was planning to be tactful, like, hey, I noticed this thing, maybe it's a pattern, I don't know. But while doing my research for this, I discovered apparently not only is he a huge douche, but a transphobic piece of shit. So all my tact went right out the fucking window. Not gonna go into the gritty details on that, not what we're here for. Google is your friend. Of late, I've been reading through post-Crisis DC from the beginning, and following the Legion-Superman crossover made to deal with the removal of Superboy from canon despite still being part of the Legion, I came upon one of Superman's most infamous stories. Action Comics 592 to 593, where Big Barda and Superman are mind-controlled into doing porn. I was already well aware of this story because I'm a longtime fan of Linkara, but I wasn't aware of what else I was going to find. Obviously, the story is disgusting for a multitude of reasons, but this idea began formulating when I saw the second issue's cover. Superman and Barda making out while Mr. Miracle is tied up and forced to watch. This does not happen in the issue, though he is shown footage of his wife doing the nasty by Darkseid, who broke in just to give it to him and sit on his love seat in his eternal search for the comfiest couch. And, considering this was a professionally produced video, it's doubtful it was a solo affair. Now this, on its own, isn't evidence of anything aside from poor writing and lackadaisical editing practices. However, there's more. Over in Superman number 9, though the main story is clean, the last several pages are dedicated to Luthor propositioning a married waitress at a diner in the middle of bumfuck nowhere to be his sex pet for a month in exchange for $1 million. She initially resists, and Luthor leaves, saying he'll wait 10 minutes. Her coworkers encourage her to go, she calls her husband, says nothing, and leaves intent on doing it, only to find Luthor gone before the full 10 minutes were up. He then laughs with Mercy about how it's so hilarious and indicates that they do this regularly. 2 issues later, in the reintroduction of our man Mixie, R.I.P. Gilbert Gottfried, he's up there with McGurk now. The issue opens with him in human guise getting up close and personal with Lois's feet and using his powers to literally sweep her off them instead of going on a lunch date with Clark. On top of that, the issue ends with Lois seemingly finally starting to come around on Clark, but then, whoops, she missed her shot and now he's having dinner with Cat Grant. Snooze you lose, bitch! And then the entirety of the next issue is dedicated to establishing Clark's history with his Silver Age love interest, Lori Lamaris, and specifically, how after years of trying to be with her, she gets stolen from him at the last minute by some merman. Man's had his fish or sea stolen right out from under him and never saw her again until she died. Each of these instances on their own wouldn't be so noticeable if they were years or even just months apart. But they came out over the course of 4 straight months. That, my friends, is what we call a pattern. So what do you think? Does John made Superman make out with a 14-year-old Byrne have a cuckold fetish? Did he just have a weird short-term fascination? Was it Batmite's vengeance for getting cut from canon? Debate amongst yourselves. I'm gonna be trying to make at least 1 video a month from here on, so hopefully you'll see me again in March. Probably something related to the big red cheese. Gotta ride the algorithm after all. Oh, and just covering my own ass, don't harass people. John Byrne is a douche, but don't lower yourself to the level of wretches like him. Do like Superman. Choose to be better.